Hi guys, I'm Ty.
I'm DJ.
And that was unfortunate. Why'd you do that?
Do what?
Should make my wiener that hard. We are Senpai Arcade, back with more of this awesome game, Fatal 12. We're talking to Naomi, who is apparently wanting to dig deeper into us. I mean,
Look, I can appreciate that, but can we just appreciate the dust particles drawn into the picture here?
no, I absolutely love this game's visuals. It's beautiful.
It is. Oh, her eyebrow. Oh, I forgot that I brought some sweets with me. I didn't make these myself, though.
Lying bitch. Saying that, she produces some chocolate. I produce chocolate at least once or twice a day.
Damn it. Once or twice a day?
Beat you to the pooch. Yeah. Why?
You should only do that like every once a day.
What?
Yeah.
No, I eat 3 meals.
No,
I eat honey bunches of oat every day. It's high fiber.
I eat 5 steaks for breakfast.
What? No, the high fiber pushes it through. She produces some chocolate, which I happily partake of. Cue the 2 Girls 1 Cup song.
No,
the sweet sensation that spreads throughout my body is almost enough to make me shiver with joy.
For a piece of chocolate?
You really can't beat a good dose of sugar.
Yeah. Now try this off the edge of my head.
Oh my
Pardon me.
God.
They do say that's it. They do say that it's good for your brain. My mom always brings me some when I'm studying.
What is it? Oh.
I just realized a simple solution. If we want an accurate info, then I should go and speak with her family.
Unless you told her family about this. Isn't that a bit dangerous?
Risky, sure. But there's a lower chance of me being caught than you. I'll make sure to go in plain clothes since you carried Keiko to the hospital in your school uniform.
Sorry, all I could think was like...
Sorry.
Can you? It's okay. Just don't die.
Uh-huh.
I think it's funny to think about a Carl Weezer like tornado.
Or Carl Weezer on the tilt-a-whirl.
Wouldn't she have asked them not to reveal anything about her?
I'm fairly certain an adult like her would have a reservation. God, this about bringing up a dream world to the others. If anything, she'd advise them to keep quiet without giving any specifics.
She has a point. I had no issue telling her everything, but there's no way I'd tell one of our teachers, for example.
She had a point. It came right out from underneath her eyes. Pretty sure that's her nose. Sorry.
I'd probably be fine with telling my gran, but definitely not my parents if they were around. Oh, God. That goes double if I were Keiko's age.
I promise I won't do anything too dangerous, so please leave this to me.
I'm more worried about your acting skills.
Please don't be so blunt. Now hit this.
For real. She once again tucks her face between a book and then pops part of it back out to speak to me after a moment.
She once again tucks her wiener between.
Yeah.
I'll do my best though. Especially, why do I turn into Mickey? Especially when it's for your sake.
You really are reliable, aren't you?
That's
your cue from now on.
As for when I should go, I'd say the weekend is the best bet.
How so?
Her family is likely to
God.
visit at night during the week. In fact, they might even be able to visit at all if it gets too late. Oh my God. Meanwhile, her husband, at the very least, should stop by during the weekend.
The range.
I'm messed up doing this as soon as possible, so I'll aim for this Saturday. Yeah, baby.
Got it. I'm coming with you, though. I'll hide somewhere nearby so you can scream if anything happens, and I'll come get you. You're like a 90-pound girl.
Now I'll hide and make you scream. No.
She nods her head in response, understanding I won't back down.
No, I won't back down.
We try to discuss other possibilities regarding her death after that, but it basically turns into a study session about pregnancy. I had a few of those in high school.
Yeah, same.
After walking, you were a virgin. You were a virgin.
Doesn't mean I can't play the field.
After walking Naomi to the train station, I make my way back to the Lion House. Ow! I was flexing when you hit my tricep.
Oh, stop flexing. We don't have face cam right now.
Flex. I have to admit, I'm surprised by just how fruitful our efforts have been today. It goes to show that how little I'd been thinking about divine selection before talking to Naomi about it. It's gotten me to question my own life. I still can't say for sure whether or not it's right for me to want to survive. However, I can say with certainty that I don't want to leave my friends and family upset over my death. That's enough motivation for now. I'm sure Keiko has the same resolve pushing her forward. In fact, hers is probably stronger considering she has a child. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She gonna kill you. I was told I lost my parents in an accident almost immediately after I was born. Just a car comes through the hospital door.
Yeah, that's so not cool. They're like looking at their baby through a window.
It's just a fucking truck.
Oh my god, no.
Anyway.
That's not okay. Soon after I was born.
Yeah. So I'm not too sure what it's like to experience the warmth and love parents can provide. Explains why you're so weak. The only thing I have to go on is when my gran spoke to me about my mum. Her expression showed an entirely different kind of love from that she holds for her granddaughter.
That's rough.
A little bit. Okay, enough thinking for one day.
Dissociation time.
Yo, it's a good tool. The more I consider Keiko and her situation, the more empathy I feel for her, which makes me think of her even more. What I should be doing right now is casting my emotions aside and gathering as much info on her as possible. Even Naomi is pushing herself to do what she can for my sake. The last thing I want is to let that go to waste. My priority right now should be to get some rest. Thus, I crawl into bed, close my eyes, and Dutch oven the sheets. It smells like eggs. And
smells
cheese.
like fava beans.
Have you seen that asshole on TikTok who takes, like, lima beans, crushes them up, and makes coffee?
No.
Fucking disgusting. After school, Naomi and I come back to Lion House together again.
At noon? Oh, on Saturday.
Yeah. I was like, you're truancy! Get the truancy officer! Keiko has never approached me again after that one night. She probably realized that I now know her name.
Right.
Oh, that's a cute dress.
Nice dress.
I assume she's aware of the potential risk approaching you again, thanks to that too.
And she's like, and if she does approach...
This is why it's great to be in America.
Right.
I'm telling you right now. I mean, you can't kill them. You can certainly take their arm off.
This is America. The last time you'll approach me like that.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do this. So wait, if I can't die, could they stab me in the head and like just walk around like Deadpool?
I don't know the answer to that.
After I ensure that my book is in my bag, thank you, I guide Naomi to the hospital. Jesus Christ.
We show up like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, throw it open.
A pot of green.
I know, right?
By the time we reached the lounge, I realized I never did ask Naomi how she plans on approaching Keiko's family. Even without me there. What?
She just walks up to him. Are you trying to kill my friend?
Come here.
Oh, man, sorry.
You're good. Even without me there, it doesn't change the fact that she's just a random high schooler to them. I highly doubt they'll be willing to share private information with a stranger like that. Stranger danger. Fortunately, the lounge is on the same floor as Keiko's room, so I'll be able to hear Naomi scream should anything go wrong while I wait. And what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Hey man, that book might be heavy. She isn't quite as clumsy and shy in front of me anymore, but this is Naomi we're talking about. I can't help but worry about her. I know that she said she'd do her best for my sake, so I'll trust in her for now.
So what are we going to do? Are we going to play on our clumsiness, or what's the play here?
After some time has passed, a man in his late 30s passes by me. I assume it's Keiko's husband and try to avoid eye contact. I move my gaze to look outside the window, waiting for his footsteps to fade.
Rinka!
Ah! You startled me. Being approached from behind like that causes me to yelp, but no one seems to pay me much mind. Naomi's voice sounds somewhat gloomy.
She doesn't look gloomy.
Welcome back. How'd it go?
My heart's about to explode for one. As for actual information, most of what I learned will only help us to narrow down the possible causes.
So you didn't learn anything specific?
Right.
That's it.
It seems like she's always had a frail disposition, but no particular diseases to speak of. However, she's been entering preterm labor on a consistent basis, which eventually led to a premature birth via emergency
Oh, that's a lot of information.
C-section.
Yeah, that's an incredible blood loss. Hello.
Yeah.
The child had to be admitted afterwards, so both of them have been in the hospital for close to 2 or 3 weeks now.
Watch. I
my
know.
God.
This is about to get real dark.
Why?
She's gonna be like, my regret was having a kid.
That overlaps with the timing of divine selection.
That's gonna be a really dark one.
The books we were reading yesterday mentioned preterm labor and premature birth.
Oh.
Premature birth is when a baby is born before the expected date, and preterm labor is when you enter the first stages of labor earlier than you should.
Didn't we just make the joke about dream eaters the other day?
The mother suffers from constant pain and bleeding during this, so she has to be kept as idle and relaxed as possible. I guess things took a turn for the worse, which led her to needing a C-section.
Sorry.
That's all, I don't care. How'd you manage to get that much out of them in the first place?
I told a little white lie.
That's racist. Her tone is more hushed than usual. It's probably why she seemed a bit gloomy afterwards.
Probably fucking tell me that before I read it.
Let me tell you everything I found out, Rinka.
Jesus.
I told them I noticed her whenever I'd come here to visit my friend, who'd also been hospitalized. I said I was worried about her, but felt it would be rude to ask her about her situation directly.
Talk about run-on sentences.
All right.
I also said I would bring her some flowers, and that eventually led them to telling me what I just told you.
Naomi. She looks like she's ready to cry. She pried information from Keiko's family for the express purpose of unaliving her. Knowing how kind of a person she is, there's no doubt she's beating herself up over it. All I can do is help.
You're such a bitch. Why would you do that?
All I can do is grit my teeth. She did this for my sake, so I can't give her some half-hearted consolation. Figuring it'd be too risky to discuss things further here, we make our way back to Lion House.
Making our way downtown, walking
Just
fast.
killed a pregnant chick.
We're trying to kill mom and a baby.
Yeah. We dive right into discussing her death upon our return.
Sorry.
I wouldn't call it a bright conversation. He doesn't have the Rona. Hardly surprising, but both of us make sure not to comment on it. I read yesterday that premature birth and C-sections place a significant strain on the mother as well. She might not have had any notable diseases, but she still had a frail disposition. Put 2 and 2 together, and blood loss seems most likely. The book doesn't say she died of blood loss. I can't tell if it's because I'm wrong or if it's because I'm not going through the proper process with the correct information. I was pretty confident in that conclusion after discussing things with Naomi, too.
You know who'd be good to ask?
Miharu.
Miharu. Oh my god, no reaction. Does that mean we're wrong then?
I'm fairly certain her family would have beaten about the bush if she had a specific condition, though. The fact that they didn't means she really doesn't. I grabbed some of the books we checked out of the library to make sure we haven't missed anything.
Sorry.
Naomi does the same. I end up coming across something relevant quicker than expected. This might be it. I point to a page detailing one of the leading causes of death during childbirth, a brain hemorrhage. It's described as being caused by an artery in the brain bursting, which leads to internal bleeding in the surrounding area. Isn't that an aneurysm?
Pretty much.
So they're the same.
Because of the negative pressure you're expelling to push the baby out, it ruptures a hole in your veins in your brain.
Well, thank you, doctor.
Yeah, I have a medical degree.
I know, it's
Thank you
just,
very much.
thank you for that awful description. Not only does it impact your senses and consciousness, but it can lead to... What?
Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Abridged where he does instant transmission and the sound the sound they use for it in EDB's ear?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why? Push!
And then
But it can lead to death should a tumor become big enough. A tumor? Why a tumor?
he's a tumor.
Big enough to put significant stress on the brainstem. The reason this can kill you is that the brainstem regulates literally fucking everything, making it one of the most vital parts of your body. That's why there's a spine around it.
Exactly.
Most cases of death during childbirth can typically be traced back to this. Have you ever seen it? It's white.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Oh, it started shining.
Oh.
Nice! Wait. Oh!
Really? I can't see anything.
Omnipotent.
You're gonna kill some lady and her child. My book starts to shine almost immediately after I come across that information. Might be a thumbnail.
Well, I'm very glad I was wrong about the cause of death. Go ahead.
Yeah, Naomi doesn't seem to be able to see it, so I explained that it does what it does when you successfully turn information into a card. The light congregates once again and gives birth to a new card. Did you really have to use that?
Yeah, did we have to do that?
Oh, there it is.
I guess you can see the card itself and what's written on it, though, just like the others I possess. I assume it's got something to do with the fact that giving them a physical form means their existence becomes reality. I place the card on the table so she can read it. Written on it is numeral 8's death, cause of death, rather. A brain hemorrhage.
Oh, God.
Which is also a great 90s song, Hemorrhage. This is it, huh? This killed her. She gave birth to her child, only to die of a brain hemorrhage. The fact that her child's in the hospital means that its birth wasn't undone at the beginning of divine selection. In that case, it might be safe to assume that Keiko didn't die during the process, but sometime after. I can't say I feel pleased over having made some progress, in all honesty.
Actually, this is good because it means that the kid will survive.
Maybe. It was still a preemie.
True, but I mean, you're not going to accidentally kill the baby because you killed the mom.
Yeah. I'd actually say I feel worse now, having learned the circumstances behind her death. Naomi likely feels the same way. I don't think there's any other way to explain the complex facial expressions she's making right now. I have to be the one to break the awkward silence.
Never
gonna give you.
I know, right?
We should find out her regret while we're at it. I notice that I've stopped referring to her by name. Yeah, you're dehumanizing.
Yeah.
You're a murderer.
Oh my
The
God.
worst thing I can do is let myself feel any attachment to her. I know for a fact that I'll regret things later down the line. If I do, you are defending yourself. It's fine. This is what happens when you learn the circumstances behind someone's death. Well, there's no arguing that it's related to her child, at least. Is she worried about its future? The book doesn't react. Playing the guessing game won't get us anywhere.
I agree. We should make our way back to the hospital.
Why?
They just fucking hoof it. Forrest Gump style. You just
Somehow we make it all the way there without considering the notion that there's no way they'll let strangers in to see the newborns. Why would you go see the child? Neither of us are too surprised, though.
Sorry. Part of me realizes what happened, but...
Butts are for pooping.
I used to say that to my kids all the time.
It's very upsetting. We might need to go about this another way.
But...
Butts are for pooping!
But you say the next round is tomorrow night, isn't it? If we miss our opportunity, then it's likely that both her and the other participants will be working even harder to find out more information. We should do as much as we can now!
Screaming right outside her door. Slams on the door, you just see her face scrape downward.
What's your regret?
I know you're right, but I get where she's coming from. None of the other participants have approached me so far. So right now I'm best, Kenny did, and now she's dead. So right now I'm best off focusing on her, both in terms of efficiency and to prevent my own info from being dug up. It's 7 p.m., so visiting hours will end in an hour. We won't be able to stick around much longer. I honestly have no idea what else we can try.
I'll speak with her personally.
Whoa.
She may suspect me, but I'll do what I can to pass myself off as someone else.
She tells me to wait here as she gets up, ready to run off.
What the fuck?
I try to stop her, but all I do is cause her to trip over her roof. He's fucking push her in the back. Look, it's not funny because she's a girl.
Oh my God.
It's funny because I've done this to people.
It's funny because you said it right before.
Fortunately, the fall brings her back to her senses.
Fuck, maybe that was a bad idea.
I didn't act impulsively, but it looks like Naomi's in the same way. In fact, she might even be worse than me. Especially when you consider how quickly she made her decisions, both in regards to helping me and learning how to brew coffee.
Uh-oh.
Oh. You two do realize you're in a hospital, don't you?
I hate it.
I feel a chill run down my spine the moment I hear that voice. I'm kneeling down to give Naomi the slob knob, so I stare upward.
What the fuck?
I don't know, I'm sorry. You're
Come up here.
Kombuchi Keiko!
Please, editing Tyler, go in and take the clip Inosuke talking to Tanjiro when he fucks his name up, because that's what it reminds me of. He's like, Kamabuchi Tanjiro!
Jesus. Kamabuchi Keiko, the very person we've spent the past few days investigating as much as possible. Why is she even here in the first place? We made sure to discuss things on a different floor from the one her room's on. This works fine for me, though. I was in the middle of looking for you, Shishimai Rinka.
Oh boy.
The tone in her voice is chilling, but her saying my full name out loud makes it ice cold. I step forward in an attempt to keep Naomi from her line of sight, but there's no way she hasn't noticed her. Your little friend seems to have a lovely discussion with my husband. It must be nice having someone to cooperate with you. I can't find an appropriate response. Much like our first meeting, I risk putting myself in danger if I say anything without thinking first. There's no need to panic, Rinka. I just want to discuss things with you. Discuss things? There's no doubt the discussion will be regarding divine selection. A few moments later, I nod my head.
You can't!
You may leave. I'm only interested in Rinka.
Oh, what the fuck?
Don't worry. If she just wants to talk, then that's fine. I nod reassuringly to Naomi, who looks worried sick over the situation.
Oh god, that expression.
Even so, be careful.
Unless... I already said there's no need to panic. I'm not here to hurt her. I just want to talk.
So, threesomes out then? Like, no.
I'm sorry.
God damn it. How about we go to the lounge upstairs? It should be rather empty at this time, and I'd much rather not discuss things in my room where other patients are around. As for your little friend, she can wait right here. I'd hate for her to try and eavesdrop.
Sorry.
I follow her after that, leaving Naomi, who looks as worried as ever, behind.
Oh, this is crazy, dude.
This could lead to some badness. Once we reach the lounge, she directs me to take a seat and walks off. She returns shortly thereafter, a can of coffee and a bottle of water in her hands.
And a knife. No, sorry.
Here, take it. I accept the coffee, unable to hide my surprise. There must have been a vending machine close by, but should I really take this when she's technically my enemy? Don't worry, it isn't poisoned. We might be in a pretty unbelievable situation right now, but that doesn't change the fact that those kinds of substances are rather difficult to come by. That's not what I... Relax, I understand. I was rather frantic during our first meeting. I must have frightened you.
Aww.
Hearing that admission from her, I take a sip of coffee.
Right.
Quite the gutsy one, aren't you? I figured you were working part-time at that cafe, but you actually lived there, don't you? On the second floor, I believe. I don't answer. Nor do I question how she knows. It's an easy conclusion to come by when you know both my name and Lion House. Was the coffee the right choice, by the way? I figured you'd like it, all things considered. I do. Still, can't bring myself to thank her for it. She seems to have expected as much, since she gives me a slight grin before taking a drink of her water. First of all, allow me to apologize. I was in a panic back then because I only knew your name, not to mention the fact that that man in the dream world got a hold of mine while I could do nothing but sit in his hospital. This hospital. Are you not doing well? Is that your sly attempt to learn my cause of death? She stares me right in the eye.
Oof.
It's clear to me that there are several more layers to her than when she's calm. This is what an adult looks like. Well, it's likely that you already learned it by now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so focused on my regret, considering that's the hardest piece of info for any of us to get our hands on.
Wait, how does she know? Oh, God.
Were you listening the whole time? Oh, and here I was thinking you noticed me doing so at some point.
Oh, Jesus.
We really should have gone back to Lion House first. Just because there were plenty of people here during the visiting hours doesn't guarantee that we wouldn't be caught. Either way, I'm not here to try and scare you, so let's drop the subject. My main intention is to propose that we both stop digging up info on one another. Why? Because you're losing? Right. What's that supposed to mean?
Because you're a loser? You're a loser! No.
Exactly how it sounds. You give up on your little information hunt, and I give up on mine. In other words, a ceasefire. Like you said, I know both your name and your cause of death. Yes, and I happen to know the exact same details regarding you. So we're currently on an even playing field. That makes my proposal all the more appealing, no? Wait, you know my cause of death? My surprise spills out when she reveals her hand. When exactly did she find that out? I never got the impression that she was doing any digging into my life. I even tried looking up why that fire broke out in the train, but the event itself had been undone. In that case, she either had the card from the beginning or she heard my discussion with Naomi at the park.
Oh, you dumb broad. Sorry.
You're fine. Still, I made sure to check that there wasn't anyone close enough to overhear when we were there. Wiretapping, maybe? No. That tech is about as hard for someone in her situation to get her hands on as the poison she joked about earlier.
Sorry.
The wind's pretty strong at the park, so you'd need high-spec stuff to counteract with that interference as well. That leaves the former, then. I still find it hard to believe that she's just conveniently end up with 2 of my cards out of the total 36.
Yeah,
she's bluffing.
Yes, 100%.
Bluffing. Don't forget that I can easily spread your info amongst the other participants, or even use it as a bargaining tool. That goes for the man who knows my name, too. She really is worried about numeral 12, huh?
Wasn't he the French guy?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not that I blame her. He isn't the type of person you'd encounter normally. Meanwhile, she looks more confident than ever. But something feels off. That's all I can think as I stare at her. She's lying!
Yeah.
Are you telling me the truth?
Uh-huh.
Is there any reason for me to lie in a situation like this?
Yes.
Yes! Death! If you're that concerned, then I can show you my cards if you'd like.
Yes.
Of course, you'd need to show me yours in exchange. Trust is of the essence here, so I need you to... Sorry, I refuse. Huh?
Oh, fuck.
I say it loud and clear. Not just to settle my own nerves, but to make sure I establish some leverage of my own. You asked for my cause of death when we first met, so it's safe to assume that your starting cards didn't include that info. And I find it hard to believe that you can figure it out between there and now. You finally got something between your fucking ears, huh, Rinka?
You immediately started sweating when you called her out.
Goddamn right. Not to mention that I'm still fuzzy. I almost said glizzy.
I'm still glizzy.
Not to mention that I'm still fuzzy on the details of my own death. Even if she did manage to listen to my conversation with Naomi, there are too many unknown factors for her to get a card out of that. I got a hold of it through channels you're not aware of.
Oh, yeah?
What sort of channels? Bitch. Oh, just chalk it up to an adult's resourcefulness. I detect a slight hint of panic in her tone.
Of course.
It's enough to convince me. It also serves to kill any sense of sympathy I have been holding for her.
Good.
Ruthless!
Let's go!
Grab your dick!
We're gonna survive!
That's right. You sit there and talk about trusting each other while you're blatantly lying to my face. I'm not, I swear! I know how you died! I stand up and look down on her. Her eyes blast wide open as she stares back up at me. It was suicide, right? What?
Oh.
No! An accident?
Damn.
Sorry, but we're done here. I would have considered your proposal had you been telling the truth, but you just had to go and lie. I'm not kidding. Her attempt to gain my trust despite lying to me has drained every ounce of sympathy I had for her.
Damn, dude.
I no longer care about the things I've imagined about her life after learning how she died. Wait, please don't go! Her voice is full of angst as she tries to stop me. I don't even bother to respond, opting instead to make my way directly back to Naomi. I want to live! I need to make it through this! I even tried lying to a kid, and yet, at this rate, our ages are irrelevant.
Damn.
She finally irritates me enough to prompt me to shout at her. At the same time, I feel my eyes starting to burn for some reason. Fucking Superman eyes.
Right.
This is goodbye. I
I
stopped.
plant one right between her eyes. No.
I stopped not too far from where we were sitting. I am supposed to be done with her, and yet I can't help but worry. It doesn't take long for me to realize why. Her exasperated claim about wanting to live was, without a doubt, the truth. That really was risky. I was pretty close to agreeing with her proposal, but our ages are irrelevant. I guess I'm just weak toward people who are pouring their hearts out. After taking a moment to gather myself, I go back to where Naomi's been waiting.
Damn.
Huh? Naomi? She isn't there when I get back.
Oh, the husband's got her.
Yeah, I decide to wait, figuring she'll be back soon. Little do I expect that decision to lead to the most terrifying situation I've been in yet.
Oh.
I recognize you.
I don't want to recognize
Oh,
you.
he's big, and he has massive pectorals and probably a huge meaty wang.
My name is Schmitty Witherspoon.
Schmitty Williams. Oh, God, Jesus.
No, he has to be Schmitty Richards.
No, he has
So
a
he's
name.
Schmitty Dick.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, sorry.
Massive. My entire body freezes up the moment I see him. Tall, dark-skinned, and positively ripped. You can almost see his muscles trying to break through his clothes.
Take me, you
He's
beefy
one of the
man.
he's one of the few people you can describe as being built like a tank with no exaggeration. But even more terrifying than his build are those stone-cold eyes. I've seen him twice before in the dream world, but seeing him here in the real world drills home just how irregular this man is. Numeral 12, the man responsible for Divine Selection's first elimination, and the man in possession of numeral 13's?
No, 8.
Oh, 8's name card.
Our girl, the
I'm a
Keiko.
moron.
He knows Keiko's name too.
You'll be my target later down the line, but for now I have no business with you. He passes right by me. Open my mouth in the direction in which I can. Whew. Just being in his presence made me feel like I was drowning. Stop.
Especially with
Stop! I must have been taking fewer breaths than usual. The realization that I'll need to gather some information on him makes me want to give up right here and now.
I noticed Naomi's dead corpse on the floor.
Oh,
just
shit.
Steven Seagal there, just
Oh, sorry, my mom called me, so, what's wrong?
Well, we'll figure out what's wrong next time on Senpai Arcade. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Ifunny, TikTok, Twitter, 9gag, Bumble, Rumble, Farmers Only.
Yeah. Everything's linked in the description. Be nice to yourselves, be nice to people, drink your water.
Have a great day. We love you. Bye.